All right, welcome back. Welcome back. Let's talk about home ownership. Uh-oh, this one is going to ruffle some feathers. Are y'all ready for this? This is going to ruffle some feathers. Why Warren Buffett thinks your home is a bad investment? Can anybody guess? Anybody wants to get? Guess why he would say maybe your home is a terrible. There's a report, there's an article that I found. Again, we're gonna be talking about money, home ownership, where your money investment, things like that. I'll be talking about those kind of things. So stay engaged. Don't miss out on any of this stuff. There's a report. There are two different reports that I'm going to see, but I think I'm going to focus on one of them. All right, there's one from dailymail.com and there's another one from from a financial report from Bazinga, right? So there's an article by Margaret Jackson. Okay. Let me see. Yeah, let's talk about home ownership. Hi, the mom of five. Hello. Chidima says, yes, I understand that. Let me see. We're going back to the last post on why women should not divorce or to be careful with divorce. Yes, I understand that, but again, it's two things. How do you present yourself? Do you lead with "I'm divorced" to where it defines you? That's low self-esteem, which certain types will prey on. I'll tell you like this on that one. Where you are today is a blessing. Listen to me carefully. Let me tell you something. If you start looking for all the regrets, there's more than enough. It's like looking at your surrounding for everything you can blame. There's more than enough. There's always some part of your story that will make you feel less than. And if you focus on it, it will become your reality. It sounds like a law of attraction, right? It is what it is, okay? Whatever you focus on expands. It becomes your full experience, okay? Wherever you are today is your best gift. What can you do with it? You can extract lessons from the past. But the lesson is, if you're a divorcee, the lessons is not going to be, had I known, had I not regret. No, it is not. That is the label. That's the label. Divorce, marriage, status, all that stuff. You need to focus on relationship building, the skill set. That's what you should focus on. If anything, extract from the relationship lessons from the past and not make it about this generalized talking point. But the way you carry yourself, there's certain people you attract. Okay? For the most part, if there's an exception, we will find out when you talk to a wise counsel. All right, so now about this home ownership of a thingy, let's talk about it, right? Let's see. So, do you guys believe in home ownership ultimately, or do you think there's exceptions to it? The story report said, while many people view home ownership as a hallmark of financial stability and wealth building, legendary investor, the number one investor in the history of mankind, Warren Buffett, says it includes overlooked costs. Can everybody agree to that? How many of you have gone to a closing before? How many more fees did you find out by surprise? It includes overlooked costs, which could make buying a house a poor investment. So it could make. It's not always a poor investment. But according to this report, the title actually says Warren Buffett says buying a house is usually a lousy investment. Now, Warren Buffett has lived in the same house since 1958. He bought it at $31,000, $31,500. That house, as of 2024, is now worth $336,000. Okay. Now, Buffett's home now worth about $1.4 million. Okay. Now it's worth about Okay. So in 1958, worth about $336,000 in today's dollars. Okay. So let's go back. Couple of lessons there. Couple of lessons in that line that I want to spell out right now before we move on to the other trendy stories. They are saying that house, he bought it for $33,000. That money in today's dollars is worth $36,000. Why? Because of inflation, because money loses its value over time, not just Naira, right? Money loses its purchasing power over time. But that house today is actually worth $1.4 million for, many reasons, which might include the fact that that's Warren Buffett's historical home, right? Okay, so those are some of the things that regular folks, which is regular people that buy homes, they don't pay attention to, right? Oftentimes, people also refinance and they take all the money out and they do it randomly. They're not really paying attention to if overall is the right investment or not. So Buffett's home, now worth about $1.4 million, is his only real estate investment. Buffett's estimated net worth is about $136 billion, right? Now, first, there's the down payment. Okay, there's the down payment. Buffett talked about his own buying experience, noting that the down payment was about 10% of his net worth at the time, I guess. He delayed buying a house because he wanted to use the money for other investments, to which his wife consented. Okay, so here's another thing, right? A lot of people, they just look at home ownership as the ultimate of all investment. And the reality is that the ultimate of all investment is the investment in yourself, in your skills, in your competence. That's in your ability to create more income. That's the best investment you can make, okay? Or to be more productive, not necessarily income, but to be more productive, okay? He might be worth more than that now, by the way. Warren Buffett is easily worth $136 billion. Yes, that's easy. All right. So Buffett talked about his homeowners. He put down 10% to delay the buying house, right? Most people believe ideally, as soon as you're coming out of college, you get married, you buy a house, right? Like in that order, something around that, right? Now, interest, property taxes, homeowners insurance account for a significant portion of the monthly mortgage payment, especially interest, right? The first half of the amortization of the loan, you're going to be dropping money into somebody else's investment vehicle, the loan note. Okay, see, you thought this was your investment, and in many ways it is an investment. Okay, especially if you have nothing better to do with your money, right? Again, if you have nothing better to do with your money, if we go back to what he said here, he delayed buying a house because he wanted to use the money for other investments. Do you have other investments that could be better than home ownership? Maybe you don't, but there are other investments that could be better than home ownership. Owning a home also ties up funds that could be used to invest in stocks and bonds, right? Now, in this time and age, you can't really say, if you don't have any like a business that you do personally on a daily basis that you can invest in, you can invest in other people's businesses, like through stocks, bonds, and stuff like that, stock options and stuff like that. It's just a skill set, another skill set you need to learn, right? And in this time and age, you can't say, it's too much of that. If you have nothing else you're doing with your time, those are the kind of skill set you need to pick up, okay? And then suddenly you find yourself in a position where you could use your money better instead of tying it up for 30 years. How's that? You guys like that? If you disagree, let me know, because I want to learn from you too. Some of you are probably better than me on this stuff, okay? Buffett also said home ownership does not guarantee significant financial returns compared to other investment strategies such as stocks. With escalating home prices and high mortgage interest rates, buying a home has become challenging for many Americans. Well, we know that as of 2024, right? And many are choosing to rent instead. A smart move, according to financial advisor Dave Ramsey. Okay, so Dave Ramsey used to be the guy. A lot of people are still reading his old books. All you should do is just buy a home, right? Just the straight line that most people think about, right? But in this AI-driven world, you have to pay attention, because you might be getting left behind, okay, by the rest of the world, because you don't live in a cave, right? According to Ramsey, renting can be a strategy choice that can save people from stretching their finances too thin and will buy them time until they can afford a house, okay? Ramsey and Buffett aren't alone in these opinions that renting may be a wiser choice than purchasing a home. Grant Cardone, another high-profile social media personality, said, "Rent is often half the cost of a mortgage because of high interest rates." But you are putting money in other people's pockets with your rent. Well, you are too, at least with majority of it in the beginning of the loan amortization when it comes to a house. It's not just looking at this with one-dimensional lens, right? You have to look at it overall, holistically, when it comes to your personal finance. So I see a lot of people also struggle in marriages but it correlates with how they struggle in their personal finances too. Okay, some people sometimes reach out to me, they want relationship coaching and they can't afford $100 for a consultation. That tells me that you need to, your income, you need to focus on that. You shouldn't be talking about marriage and relationships. It's a telltale sign that you're probably struggling in your relationships. If you can't handle money, personal finance as a person, be productive, even financially, there's a good chance you will struggle with marriage and relationships. So that's a sign for you. That's a quick tip, you know. Homeowners insurance and property. So it's saying another high profile. Okay, they said rent is often half the cost of a mortgage because of high interest rate, homeowners insurance, and property taxes. All right, so that's the. So is he saying that you shouldn't buy a home? No, it's not saying you shouldn't buy a home. Absolutely not. It's saying it's a lousy investment for most people. Because most people that buy a home, they got sold by a realtor, by an agent somewhere. They got sold by a realtor, by an agent somewhere who just wanted their commissions, and I can't judge them. Okay, if you pay attention closely to some of those agents and realtors, some of them don't even own a home. Some of them just getting started with their life. Majority of them even make less than $8,000 in a year from that gig of being a real estate agent. Why? Because it's sales. Sales can be hard for an average person, right? So let me see here. Mario says, I know he knows the cost of housing is all big to medium-sized cities and the corresponding rent is bananas. Is your grandpa, has he contributed to your life? This your grandpa, has he contributed to your life? What are we talking about? Let's see. Mario said, believe in home ownership. Grandpa Buffett must be talking about people buying homes as investment, not people buying to live in it. That's a good point. Okay, that's a good point. Okay, but it's talking across the board because a lot of people justify buying a home to live in it because they justify it as an investment. So it can be, they can interweave, if you will, right? So he's talking about both. Most average persons that will buy a home, they're justifying it. They're justifying going underwater from the get-go, meaning they're buying a house with negative equity. By saying it's an investment, it will pay for itself. Maybe not. Maybe not. They're also not paying attention to the cycle of money, you know, the cycle of money and economies. I posted a video in the backstage once upon a time where it talks about how the economy works by Dale, what's his name? Dale, D-A-L-E, I forgot his name. The name skipped me. How money works. I'll find it in a second here. How money works. How economy works, rather. It's a good video to watch. Ray Dalio. He also wrote a book about money some few years ago. That's a very, very good book on money. So I think my mindset around business, money, is the same mindset that I bring into relationships. The only exception when it comes to relationships is that the biggest variable in relationships is emotions. Okay, and most people don't consider that. They, in fact, what they try to teach you out there is they try to teach you to shut down your feelings, which doesn't work. That's unrealistic expectation. It doesn't make sense to shut down feelings. No human beings can shut down feelings. The person telling you to shut down feelings are speaking from their feelings. So no wonder they are giving terrible advices. Okay. Let me see here. Oh yes, I saved that video. I should watch it. No, you should watch that video. I would like your take on it once you watch it. It's a very, very good video. Natu, how far are you there? Good to see you, Natu. All right, so hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications. We're gonna move on to some other stories around the world. Like I said, we're back. We're back. Full-blown 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. Rub minds together in the chat. I pinned the link to the top. If you have anything to say to me directly, always feel free to use it. I will always pin the link throughout the show now, okay? If I don't pin it, Marriott, you always do a good job. Always remind me. I pin it from the beginning of the show now, okay? All right. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications, and we'll be right back. Beautiful girl.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Me love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.